G'day fellas and welcome to Age of Empires 4 patch review. A brand new patch has just dropped, the update has just hit Steam, and there's a lot of changes in here. But what's interesting is while there's a lot of balance changes in there, I want to take you all the way to the end of the patch notes first. Check this out, this is exciting. Something that we've been asking for many years, coming up. Alongside the two 2026 DLCs we announced in a previous blog post, the team has been working on several quality of life features that we hope to release alongside the spring DLC. These improvements include new player colors. How many years has it been? 4 years that Age of Empires 4 has been out and we finally get new colors? So I'm going to shout out to Overbait right now. This is a post that he made on Reddit a couple of months or years ago, and I've loved it ever since. Anyway, I'm curious, what color do you want? I'm hoping for probably Ocean Wave. I like Ocean Wave. Grape Jelly looks pretty good as well. But look, these are just some ideas he's thrown out there. None of these obviously confirmed at this stage. But anyway, let's get into it. That's what's coming up. Let's talk about what is actually happening in this patch, of course. So the devs have said, Happy New Year, Age of Empires 4 players. 2026 is going to be another big year for Age of Empires 4, and we look forward to sharing more details in the future about the two DLCs we announced late last year. For now, we wanted to start off the year with some additional bug fixes and balance changes as we follow up with a bulk reward of perk points for players who may have lost perk points from masteries after the initial release of Dynasties of the East. Alright, so hopefully they fix up that Crucible. So, Season 12, next event, Something in the Water. The Relaxing Waves has brought back old friends, but with new rewards. They might be monsters, but you'll be the one sinking your teeth into the challenges while you take on the competition. Improvements to the map monsters mode. Okay, improved spawn logic for the monsters, preventing them from spawning in accessible locations, and monster discovery results in the monster despawning with a visual effect. Okay, there you go. So we've got Something in the Water, we've got some new portraits, and some new stuff to go for. We've got the map pool rotation. So we've got a 1v1 ranked map pool change. So we've got Socotra, Confluence, Rocky River, Baltic, and Prairie. I don't mind Prairie. We've got Sunken Lands, Ocean Gateway, Relic River, Ancient Spires, and King of the Hill that are going to be ducking out. Then we've got some changes to the team map pool as well, and some general map updates. Nomadic Ridges and Nomadic Tarns removed from the Quick Match FFA map pool. Thank the Lord's God. These maps were coming up so much. Don't get me wrong, like, they're good, but it's just like, just give me Mega Random. Just give me Mega Random. Just that's all I want. Number of map downvotes in Quick Match increased from 15 to 25. Lovely. Crucible. Perk points make good for masteries. Okay, thank you for your patience as we work through issues related to perk points not being properly granted or saved last year. Look, I appreciate that it's coming in now, but I feel like this is way too late. Like, this should have been hot fixed. And I appreciate that it was probably too big of an issue to hot fix. Like, you had to do backflips and whatnot to try and find this, but still, man, it really left a sour taste in the mouth of a lot of people, I think. To make good on the fact that many of you completed masteries intended to reward perk points, if you currently have fewer perk points than the completed Crucible masteries would have awarded, you'll be granted the missing points the next time you load into the game. So if you're looking forward to playing Crucible, I know I am, with this update, then make sure that you log in and grab your mastery points. Bug fixes as well. Fixed an issue in Crucible where the Ottomans were limited to 4 Vizier points by default. The Imperial Council will surely hear about this. Fixed an issue across all platforms that caused the wrong civilization flag to appear when viewing another player's Crucible history in their player profile. Good that this one was selected. Or rather finished, and fixed an issue where the timer would start on the boon selection screen after choosing to restart a match in the Crucible, and fixed a bug where relic carts were being selected by military selection hotkeys in the Crucible. I'm honestly glad that this got fixed. This was kind of annoying when you try and re-roll your boons, and then all of a sudden your timer would begin, so you'd have to issue all your commands, and then you'd have to do your boon, whereas now you can probably just restart, do your boon, and then keep going. So it's a nice little fix. And we got some changes to gameplay as well. AI updates. AI will no longer issue conflicting commands to naval units, which results in the unit getting stuck in a command loop. UX and UI. While we've previously fixed other instances of the main menu stuttering when certain USB devices were plugged into the system, we now believe we've resolved all instances of this issue across all platforms. Lovely. And we've got some changes for console. We're not going to read the console ones, but feel free to take a look. And the editor user-generated content, MapGen debug has been re-enabled for modding purposes. Wonderful. Balance and bug fixes. Okay, the meat, the potatoes. Here we go. General bug fixes. Various stability fixes made to reduce crashes. PlayStation 5 only. PlayStation 5 only. Civilization bug fixes. All civilizations. Corrected issue where some units and their projectiles would not appear from the fog of war after attacking. Okay. All right, well, let's get into the Civ-specific changes. I'm looking out for some big ones here. Obviously, the Macedonians are going to be the focus of many people here, hoping to see some big nerfs in this. Let's take a look and see what we've got. So for the Abbasid dynasty, age-up research time reduced from 105 seconds to 100 seconds for all ages. So a nice little buff there for them. It might not seem like much, but I guess it does add up, especially if you're thinking like fast castle. It's going to, increase the time that you get to castle age by 10 seconds, increases the time that you get upgrades by 10 seconds. It's a small little buff. Whether or not it will be noticeable, we'll have to wait and see. Byzantines. Only change to the Dramon. Okay, there you go. We're not interested in the Dramon. I mean, increase to movement speed, increase to damage, added a bonus damage versus incendiary ships, ranged armor increase. So you got a buff across the board, and definitely the right call. I mean, it's so rare that you see this unit, so it definitely makes sense. Delhi Sultanate, War Elephant health reduced from 850 to 800. They nerfed the War Elephant again. This bad boy getting hit once again. Now, does that also affect the Tughlag or the Tughlag dynasty? Can we just check and see? Okay, there's a lot of changes for the Tughlag dynasty. So, I guess one of the things that they do with this is they will often mention both. But it's interesting that they're just going alphabetical order and then they're not putting the Golden Horde in a separate little bunch. That's what they normally do. Fixing an issue with the Beachhead Ram not gaining additional arrows from garrisoned units when the ability is activated. Okay, so Beachhead Ram is the ability where the ram just chills out, has a good time. Relics can no longer be duplicated. Wonderful. Uvu health increased from 1500 to 750 because they obviously are a bit vulnerable. The Keshik, okay, we've got from 145 to 150, 175 to 180, and 210 to 215. So small Keshik buffs across the board. Most notably, that's going to be hitting in Feudal and Castle. And then Beachhead cost reduced from 500 stone to 400 stone. So nice little buff there, because I definitely felt like it's probably not going to get used a whole bunch. And that's definitely been the case. We've also got Barrack Stable and Archery Range Reinforcement. Upgrade costs increased from 950 to 1100 stone. Definitely the right call. This is an incredibly powerful technology, the reinforcement upgrade. So to have this getting buffed up, or getting increased, getting nerfed, definitely makes a lot of sense. We've got the padded armor upgrade, armor reduced from 2 to 1, and the debuff arrow duration decreased from 15 to 10 seconds. So overall, look, you'd say there's some buffs here, there's some buffs there, but realistically, they're getting hit where it hurts. A slight increase in the cost for the reinforcement upgrades, as well as the debuff arrow as well, being a significant reduction in the time that it affects it. So overall, you'd say that they've reduced the power of the Golden Horde, but the Uvu health increase is also quite nice. So it's a little bit of a mix, but I think you definitely have to say overall a slight nerf. Holy Roman Empire, what do we got? Inspiration duration increased from 35 to 38, and Archon Chapel Aura range increased from 6.5 to 7. Isn't it funny? You know, I was talking about this with some friends recently about how you've got like a seesaw with regard to the landmark balance, how it balances between the Archon Chapel or like any feudal age or castle age landmarks, or any landmarks for that matter. It kind of like seesaws like the Kremlin, and like when we look at the Rus and their landmarks, how it's just kind of seesawed between the balance for their landmarks as well, and it's just the same here with the Holy Roman Empire. I wonder if it will seesaw back the other way now. It's like now people will go for the Archon Chapel. House of Lancaster. The White Tower no longer researches technologies more quickly than other keeps when playing as the House of Lancaster, and Muster the Noble's tooltip now correctly states that it spawns 4 demi-lancers rather than 5. Lord of Lancaster, he has been nerfed significantly, 200 health to 170, 225 to 200, 250 to 235, and the Hobbler cost has been increased from 70 food 20 gold to 75 food 20 gold. So it's a small nerf here, but overall the Lord of Lancaster has been hit pretty damn hard, which obviously reduces the power of the Abbey of Kings. So there you go. Overall, House of Lancaster not looking as healthy as it once looked. But I think realistically, I mean, these are going to be big changes, especially to the Lord of Lancaster. It's definitely going to hurt them hard. Japanese Uma Bannerman Damageman Aura reduced from 15% to 10%. So just a single nerf to the Japanese. I can see the Macedonians here. I'm getting excited. Only a single nerf there to the Japanese. Very, very specific for the Uma Bannerman. But let us move forward, because it's obviously been, you know, Cav-centric meta for quite a while now. So definitely makes sense. Macedonian Dynasty. Okay, here we go. Early Varangian Guard. Damage reduced from 12 to 11. Okay. Berserk damage reduced from 6 to 5. Berserk damage remains unchanged in the Castle Age and Imperial Age, so that's just for the early Varangian Guard. And then finally, the Radari. Okay, this is what people have been waiting for. I've been reading so many Reddit posts. I'm a Reddit mod. And so many complaints about the Radari. Let's see what we've got. Damage reduced from 26 to 24. Elite damage reduced from 31 to 29. That's it? That's all the Radari gets? I don't know, man. I mean, you don't want to go crazy nerfing the Radari, but at the same time, is 2 damage gonna be it? You got to remember, like, on the surface, you look at 2 damage and you go, that's nothing. But then when you consider armor, right? Like, okay, we're talking Castle Age fights. Everyone's got 6 melee armor. Now all of a sudden, you've gone from 20 damage to 18 damage, right? Like, that's another way that you can look at it in essence, right? So it's a little bit more sharp of a nerf than what this actually looks like. But is this going to be enough? I'm sure many people will think probably not. We'll have to wait and see. Could that be the difference? I mean, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Because keep in mind, they're obviously getting nerfed here. No one else is getting nerfed, or at least not really. We did see the Keshik, the slight Keshik nerf. Sorry, excuse me, the slight Keshik buff up here. So who knows? What else have we got? We've got changes to Buttered Chainmail for the ranged, and Laminar Armor for melee infantry, and Scale Barding for cavalry, so all of their respective upgrades. So the Tier 2 cost has been increased from 500 silver to 550 silver. I don't think this really changes much. Tier 3 cost increased from 1,000 silver to 1,100 silver. Once again, very, very small amounts. And Runestone requirement increased from 5 enemies defeated to 10 enemies defeated. Okay, not terrible. I mean, if you're reducing the amount of runestones they've got, and therefore the amount that they've got available to use, so that's going to give them less coverage. So it means that maybe you could look at potentially not kiting, but moving away from where they are is probably the better way to say it. And then we've got changes to the Imperial Hippodrome as well. Champion Scout damage reduced from 7 to 5. Champion Scout Torch damage aura reduced from 35 to 25. And Champion Radari Infantry movement speed aura from 15 to 10%. So definitely some worthwhile or some like decent changes here. Reducing that early game impact that they've got, as well as obviously mid stages as well. Overall, is this going to be enough for the Macedonian dynasties? We'll have to wait. We'll have to see. They're all very subtle changes, I will say that, though. And look, to be honest, when it comes to numbers, that's normally the best way to do it, right? You pull the levers down and you pull them slowly. You don't pull them very quickly, because if you were to take like Radari damage and go 26 to 22, all of a sudden, you know, Beastie plays one game with the Macedonian dynasty. He says Macedonians are dead. Nobody ever plays Macedonians again. And right, like you've just killed one of your new civs. So I think it definitely makes sense to do this. And Look, I'm not just saying it's one person's influence that will change that. It's the whole. What's the way that I want to frame it? It's like the whole meta, right? The whole idea, the whole concept. But yeah, I guess that's essentially the point. You just want to go slow with it. Anyway, let's take a look at the Mongols. We've got the Khan will now properly shoot an arrow into the air when using one of the signal arrow abilities in the Imperial Age. Fixed an issue which prevented the Khan from granting nearby units +2 armor with the defense arrow ability, and queued monastery units and upgrades are no longer lost when the monastic shrines is researched. And then we've got changes to the Keshik, so it's the same changes that we saw with the Golden Horde. The Uvu has been increased slightly. Stone regeneration or generation rate increased from 1 to 120 to 130 from 120 in the Castle Age, 150 to 160 in the Imperial Age. So very slight buffs once again, but naturally they've obviously seen that, hey, Golden Horde's got lots of stone. That's kind of cool. It feels good to have lots of stone. Yeah, it does. Early Horsemen health increased from 110 to 115, and Mongols now produce Horsemen 25% faster. Yo, that's pretty good. Hey, that's a good civ bonus. That is a really nice civilization bonus. Mangadai, after moving for 1 second... Oh, God. After moving for 1 second, attack speed will begin... Get fucked, man. Get fucked, Mongols. Mongols are dead, bro. Holy shit, they just killed Mongols. A bit ironic that I say that, like, right after, like, Macedonian dynasty, and we'll talk about, like, Beastie says, Radari dead, Macedonians dead, and now it's, like, Mongols dead. Like, we're calling it right now. Hold on, okay. After moving for 1 second, okay, so you've got your Mangadai, he's just come out of his archery range, pew, 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 he wants to shoot, okay? Attack speed will begin to slow down from 0.88, so that means one shot every 0.88 seconds, to 1.97 seconds per attack. Attack speed rapidly returns to normal when the unit stops moving. Holy shit, they actually killed the Mangadai. Now, I will say, look, not really. Mangudai is probably not going to be dead in team games. It's just, it's effectively doing half the damage that it does currently, or I should say previously, because this is now up to, this is live, this patch right now. It essentially does half the damage. That's it. That's the way that they're doing it. So when you've got those big raids going through the base and you're being chased by horsemen, you'll do half damage to those villagers that you're trying to kill. That's essentially it. It means a few villagers are going to get away now, whereas before they wouldn't. I don't know about you, but I typically found that like the villagers would get absolutely rinsed and that there was no real question about it. So I don't know if this is so much of a team game change, just because you already had so many Mangudai in the base and any villager you saw just died naturally. So I think this is probably a little bit more of a it's probably more of a 1v1 nerf when I think about it, because when it comes to Mangudai, they can be incredibly oppressive to deal with when you're chasing them down. We've obviously seen players deal with that pretty effectively, but still, it can be oppressive to do. So yeah, this could be the death of the Mangudai right here. Anyway, let's move forward. The Ottomans, Sipahi, feudal age health decreased 155 to 145, 185 to 175 in castle, and 220 to 210. So they're definitely shaking up cavalry quite a bit here. We've seen like the Keshik brought up, we've seen the Sipahi brought down, we've seen the Radari brought down. So for the Ottomans, just a small little change there. Then the Sengoku Daimyo fixed 2 Hojo Daimyo estate upgrades that were mislabeled in the remappable hotkey list. Thank you, very important. Fixed an issue where English villager units were unable to attack the Yatai. Shinobi ambush ability can no longer be cast on walls. Ryokan healing increased from 3 every 6 seconds to 4 every 5 seconds. Okay, so how much does that actually increase it? So 4 every 5 seconds, so that would go to like 4.2-ish? It'd go to like 4.8. That's a good buff. That's like a 60% buff right there. And it's arguably more than that, just because you're getting ticks sooner. So like at the 10-second mark, you've healed 8, whereas they've only healed 3. What was that popped up? Is that AI? Bro, I don't need a chatbot to summarize the number 5 for me. Thank you, though. Villagers gathering from the sake brewery's Toko Koji mats no longer benefit from mining upgrades. Okay, so they are nerfing what was arguably the best landmark in the game, the sake brewery. Yeah, it was incredibly powerful. I mean, this was a god tier landmark. I wonder if it still will be. I mean, the fact that they don't benefit from the mining upgrades, you're definitely getting hit in the late game. That is for sure. Iki monks will now properly attack fleeing enemies after researching mountaintop training, and Shinobi can no longer throw grenades without decreasing the grenade counter. Okay, so overall, sake brewery is definitely going to hurt them a lot. This was pretty much a staple. Other than that, I don't know if the Ryokan, I mean, Ryokan might be used now. It feels like it's such a weird one. I keep calling them wonders, dude. Sorry, that's my Age of Empires 3 brain defaulting in. Landmarks, excuse me. It's such a weird landmark. Yeah, I don't know. I want to love the Ryokan, but I feel like it's going to get reworked at some point. Anyway, Tughlag Dynasty, let's move on. Hisar Academy resource regeneration per active governor increased from 50-50 to 70-70. Good change. Honestly, good change. I couldn't rationalize this at all, the Hisar Academy, especially because it's food. And it's like, well, I've already got farms. Like, the only thing I really care about here is the gold. And I'm only getting 50 gold. It's really not that good. So this is definitely a great change. Tughlag fort. Shahi walls cost reduced from 275 stone to 250. Okay. We've got the red brick bastion cost reduced from 100 gold 300 stone to 75 gold 275 stone. So overall, like, they're definitely buffing it up. And then the benefactor cost reduced from 100 350 to 50 gold 200 stone. So they're really bringing down those costs. I like this a lot. This is definitely the right call. Obviously, the Tughlag dynasty has not been particularly powerful. And these changes are targeted towards that sort of mid-game, which is definitely when it falls off that mid to late game. House of Learning. The Nezza training cost reduced. Kanda drills cost reduced. Elephant caretakers cost reduced. And collateral damage cost reduced. So everything getting reduced. And those are significant reductions as well. So House of Learning gets buffed. And Ballista Elephant. Hold on a minute. Population cost increased from 3 to 4. Damage increased from 16 to 18. Bonus versus infantry increased from 12 to 14. And elite damage increased from 17 to 19. bonus versus infantry increased from 14 to 18. So overall, what they've done here is smart. So you're still paying the same amount for the ballista elephant. It's a little bit more population cost. And I don't think there was any game I ever played except that one FFA game where you kind of go, wow, I've got so many ballista elephants. This is crazy. Like, it was rare that you had an issue with this. Obviously, super ultra late game armies, this is going to matter. But for the purpose of when they're weak, right? At least in the middle stages of the game, you've now got a unit that is doing 2 extra damage to everything and is now doing an extra 4 damage to infantry. That's massive. That is a huge boost to the power of the ballista. So hopefully we see the ballista elephant used a little bit more. So definitely a fan of this one. I don't know if this was necessary or necessary. Yeah, I don't know whether or not this was necessary, but I guess they definitely determined that it was. Okay, Juicy's Legacy. Fixed a bug where cancelling and requeuing the Imperial Red Seals upgrade would spawn extra Imperial officials once the upgrade was researched. What? That is sick. Damn, that sounds like a feature. That doesn't sound like a bug. And that is it. So then, obviously, we've talked about ongoing already. What's on the horizon? We're going to take a look over at Reddit and see what the reaction is over on the Reddit mega thread as well. So stick around for that. But we've also got random map and biome options. So, oh my god, random map and random biome options for those of you who want some surprise. As long as I'm able to choose, like, random map from a select pool. Like, it would be so good to have, like, an Outback Octagon. Like, I would love to be able to tell, like, all the players in Outback Octagon, okay, we're going to put on Mega Random Land, and we're going to put on these 3 maps. We're going to put on Uluru, this one, and this one, and just set it to random map with those 5 selected, and you guys are good to go. And then biome options. You don't want the same biome every single game, right? Like, I don't want to have just, like, one, like, Japanese Spring, but I want to see Japanese Spring, and I definitely don't want to see some biomes, right? Like, some of the biomes are absolutely disgusting. Don't get me wrong. Like, they're from an art perspective, they're great, but for a gameplay perspective, like, I don't want to be blinded by the beach. Let's just put it that way, man. Faster flow for getting through the end of game screens. For those of you who can't wait, oh my god, this is something I've been complaining about for a long time. It was like 20 plus seconds. If you hit surrender at the end of a game instead of quit, it will take you like more than 20 seconds to get the surrender animation to play, and then you can finally click the quit game button. It was so annoying. Like, I should be able to click that. I should just be able to requeue instantly. Like, there should be an option to instantly requeue after I've had my match, or at least, yeah. I mean, they're obviously doing the right thing. And then, of course, everything is subject to change. Okay, let's check in with Reddit. Let's see what they said. All right, sorry for the flashbang. I'm using I'm using white mode Reddit. I'm not using dark mode Reddit, just simply because I use Reddit too much that if I have it on dark mode, I'll use it even more. Okay, let's take a look and see what they said. So this was posted by Cow 2 hours ago. No fix for the AI building. Let me zoom in a bit for you guys. There we go. No fix for the AI building the entire Royal Navy in a small pond. I love that. That's a great emoji. So a little bit of an AI complaint right here. The most upvoted at this time. They effed this up a while ago when they claimed to have improved naval AI, and it's been broken ever since. If a map has water, it's unplayable in skirmish. At this point, they should just revert the whole change because it's not doing anything good. Yes, that's an interesting thing. I wonder the fact that this is so highly upvoted as well, it will attract the devs' attention. That guy was still right. How did he know? My man really knew. I don't actually know what this is referring to. No, mountain clearing can't go. It's the best map. It was definitely up there. Everyone hates that map, but I have a 100% win rate in duos with my friend. No one knows how to play it. And that could be a very smart way to play. Unfortunately, you're very siloed, though, in your skill. FFA maps are finally restored to the 2 right maps. Praise be. Indeed, Belli. Indeed. It's the only thing I wanted, says Ron Lim. I got to agree. Seriously, it took them a really long time to implement this. Yep. Well, it was definitely a good change. It's a little bit overdue, so that is great. Yo, another War Elephants nerf? Were they really that good? Also, some civs change, or when some changes listed for shared unit, like War Elephant for Delhi and Tughlag, does it apply to one civ or both? Only applies to the one civ. So, as we saw for like the Mongols and the Golden Horde, they only, they mentioned the Keshik twice in each one. So, for the War Elephants for the Tughlag, they don't get nerfed. What else have we got? Black color incoming, hopefully. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I mean, we do have Midnight Ink, and we got Foggy Stone. I would absolutely be happy with both of those. My only trouble with something like this is just readability, and that's going to be something that Microsoft is just sitting up there like, no, it's not readable. We can't do it. So yes, that is definitely one aspect. You know, one thing that I would love an overhaul to colors. Can I just say that? I would love a warm color versus cool color. That would be really, really nice to see. Like one team, like in 4v4, the team that picks the warm color first gets to play with warm colors. The team that picks the cool color first, they get to play with cool colors, and the other team, they just get given whatever it is that they've got, and you just go, damn. And then that way it makes it a little bit easier to differentiate between raiding units and your own units. More player colors, yes, this is the highlight for me. We've got Heliquan48 saying, patch looks good. I like the Mangadai change. Nerf plus buff to the rest of the Civ, so we might hopefully see some more variety out of them. I'm also curious to see if people will somehow be able to exploit that and avoid... Yeah, that's a good point. The rate of fire debuff. Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a way. I don't mind that a lot of these changes are quite small, but in the right direction at least, and that's exactly it, right? Like, the Radari change is a great example of that, where it's not too much that it's going to kill the Civ. The Ryokan was 3 every 5, now it's 4 every 5. It was 3 every 6, wasn't it? But notes say it used to be 3 every 6, so the buff looks bigger than it actually was. Oh, okay, well there you go, he's corrected us. Too bad Iki Monks weren't buffed. Still don't see that landmark as viable. Yeah. I think there's a use to this unit. You've just got to kind of blend it in with the army, and I think it needs a very specific type of unit composition to actually work. Something that's going to benefit from the bonus that it gives. So, yeah. Plus 5 health to Keshik is a joke compared to Mangadai minus 250% attack speed. Is it minus 250% attack speed? Did I read that wrong? Hold on. Mongols. Oh, shit, it is too. Oh, my God, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, because there's 0.88 attacks. Seconds per attack, not 0.88 attacks per second. Though that probably works out to be the same. But if we were to double that, it would be like what, 1.76, and it's now 1.97. Yeah, that's a big reduction. Wow. Okay, yeah, Mangadai is dead. I mean, this is going to be very interesting to see the balance of Mongols now with that change. All right, what else have we got? The God patch. Kind of love all the balance changes. The multiple Macedonian nerfs are sweet. Yes, I think so. Did they go far enough with Macedonians? I think they probably have for the moment. As I said, you've got all these levers that you can pull. And you can see here we got Ron Lim again saying nomadic ridges and nomadic tards removed from the quick match FFA map pool. I like the patch. Not sure about the maps though. Yeah, as soon as I saw like with the patch where the name was something in the water, I was like, please don't be water maps. So then you see the maps and it's just like Sakutra, Confluence, Rocky River, Baltic. It's like, oh god damn it. Oh man. All right. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. It's a massive patch for Age of Empires 4. We got a lot of stuff coming up this year. So anyway, make sure you keep an eye out. There's going to be plenty more casts coming up over the next couple of weeks. So I'm looking forward to getting my feet wet with Age of Empires 4 and the brand new season, of course, season 12, where, what is it? What's it called? Something in the Water. Yes, let's all get our feet wet with something in the water. Sounds like a great idea. Anyway, we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.